Hello, this is Core speaking. Today I want to speak to you about the relationship and the cooperation in a project between the test manager and the project manager. Are they friends or foes? The test manager has to deal with a lot of different people in a project. From testers to subject matter specialists, from line managers to end users, from IT people to business representatives. However, the relationship with the project manager is often overlooked and regularly difficult, underestimated, and contradictory. Both are main drivers and fulfill responsible and high-profile roles for the success of a project. Therefore, they should cooperate closely and benefit from each other's activities and mandates. Often, however, this is not the case. Today we will discuss the why and what can be done to make this cooperation more positive and beneficial to the project. First, let us have a look at the two schools that exist in project management. Old school project management. The idea is that the old school project manager does not need to have subject matter or content-related knowledge of the project. He uses the usual management techniques, controls progress, and initiates actions, so much in a nutshell. The question here is, what is the basis for his decisions? His targets are usually delivery on time and on budget. On spec is often underrated or overlooked. Just focus on getting out the software before the deadline, is often the direction that is taken. You can compare this to driving a car in the dark with the headlights off. New school project management. The usual project management techniques are used and progress is controlled, the same as the old school project management. The big game changer is that the project manager also should and will have subject matter understanding. This is also like driving in the dark, but here you have got your headlights on. This enables him to make more informed decisions. To give you an example of a project I once did as a functional tester and analyst, the appointed test manager was an old-school project manager. He was asked how long it would take to finish the testing. So, he went about it, made his estimates and pivot tables, and came up with a date based on the number of test cases, average duration, and the number of testers. Nothing wrong with that at the first look, you would say. However, he forgot to take the entry quality of the software into the calculation. Needless to say, his calculations were null and void after the first day of testing. As far as I remember, he stuck with his original modus operandi. He would have benefited heavily if he had taken this very important factor into his calculations and predictions. So let us summarize the main goals the project manager and the test manager usually pursue. The project manager primarily wants to deliver on time, the test manager wants to deliver quality. Due to the nature of the beast, which is software development, these two roles have sufficient potential to clash during the project. This usually results in the test manager having to leave the project. The next one to leave the project will often be the project manager himself. Everybody loses in this situation, not only the test manager and the project manager, but also the company and the end users. So, how can we fix this problem? The obvious answer is cooperation between the project manager and the test manager. We will now discuss how this can be achieved based on their specific tasks and the mandates they have. The project manager has to overlook a range of topics and subsequently looks at things from a distance and misses details. Of course, he can be assisted by PMO to gather and prepare data, especially regarding budget. The test manager, as his role is more hands-on, is closer to details, technical and functional. He's also closer to the daily business in every way. The cooperation with partners, internal and external, increases understanding of the subject and, as a byproduct, the project status. Also, he is very close with his team of testers. The testers need to come up with physical test cases and physical data. For this, the cooperation of the business side is necessary. Looking at the readiness of the test environment, here the test manager should be in close or at least regular contact with the test environment coordinator. In summary, the test manager is very close to the daily project basis on the operational level. A closeness, a proximity that cannot be expected from the project manager, as has to be said in all honesty. Just as much as the test manager is not always aware of the high-level discussions and processes that are part of the project. So here we already have a first synergy effect that can be achieved in case these two roles have regular communication. Their fields of activity are complementary. The project manager is on the more strategic side of the project, and the test manager is on the tactical and operational side of the project. Together they are like a pair of eyes who possess depth perception. A single eye cannot do this successfully. Also, by combining their views, their field of view is wider. Another aspect of successful cooperation between those two is the mandate they have. Very often, a test manager is responsible or being made responsible for aspects for which he does not possess the mandate. For example, the level of cooperation with external or internal partners. The project manager can invoke this cooperation to be more intense or towards the benefit of the project. He, however, often does not see the lack of cooperation as he is too far away from the operational business. Here, the test manager possesses the signal function, as he is close to that operational level. So, if the project manager carries these objections higher into the project management, for example, a steering committee, then the situation should improve. In the ideal situation, the project manager and test manager speak with one voice, at least convey the same message. Here, the test manager can inform the project manager so that he can stay on top of things. He gives the project manager the information to back up certain claims like insufficient cooperation with partners, needing more resources from the line organization, and so on. This communication does not need to be lengthy. A daily short one-on-one of 5 minutes can do the job. This exchange is usually sufficient to signal and communicate early warning signs to the project manager. The test manager can also request some action from the project manager this way. This way, the project manager can give feedback to the test manager. It is simple, straightforward, quick, and efficient. However, it does request that both trust each other and cooperate openly and honestly. Some of my most successful projects were where this process was followed. Projects where the project manager did not follow up on this process and communicated filtered information to the project board were usually less successful. So, the overall advice is following. The test manager should be seen and treated as a useful and necessary ally by project management. The test manager must not be considered a troublemaker or a roadblock who just causes trouble and disturbs things. The test manager should also be involved in communication at project board meetings to supply detailed and true information to improve decision-making and risk mitigation. He has detailed knowledge and is in an excellent position to suggest and discuss mitigation measures. He will probably be more appropriate and capable than the project manager due to the work he does. However, he is usually the first one to be held responsible for things he has not received a mandate for. This dependency needs to be mitigated. This means that in a project context, he should receive more visibility, authority, and mandate than he normally has in most projects. This will not only increase the quality of the project, it will also lead to quicker escalations and changes in direction to adapt to new circumstances. Overall, it will increase the probability of project success, as it will save time and cost. A re-evaluation of testing and the test manager and his test team will generally be very beneficial for projects. This also goes for a re-evaluation of quality management. For further elaboration on this point, please get in touch with us directly at NUCIDA, as this would be subject to another video. From a philosophical point of view, do not shoot the messenger, do not shoot the bearers of bad news. Project managers and test managers are paid to deliver bad news if it exists. Rose-colored glasses are not part of their toolkit. Quite frankly, project managers and test managers who refuse to report bad news or make it look prettier are a waste of money. They should and have to be your early warning system to protect your company, its resources, and its reputation. At the end of the day, they are the keeper of the grail. For further information and a deeper discussion on this topic, feel free to contact me or one of my colleagues at NUCIDA Group. Let us know how you and your company deal with this topic and whether there is room for improvement.